Hello everyone. This video is in continuation to our videos where we were discussing life processes for CBSE session 23-24. In our previous video, we had discussed nutrition in amoeba and paramecium and their differences. In this video, we will talk about digestion in human beings. That means nutrition in human beings we are going to discuss. We'll talk about the 5 main steps of nutrition. In this video, we'll talk about the 5 main steps of nutrition. We'll talk about the whole diagram. We will make the whole diagram and the parts. And in the next video, I'll explain which part produces what and what is its function. So this video is divided into 2 parts because it's a very long video, cannot be clubbed and be done in one part. Fine. So let's just, without wasting time, start with it. Digestion in human beings. Now, when we talk about digestion, or herein, when I'm specifying digestion, I'm going to talk about how the food is being digested in the body. But when I give you the term nutrition in humans, if we say, because we are discussing humans, it occurs in 5 main steps, starting with ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Fine. All these steps, as I have given you in the form of flowchart, they occur one after the other. First step is ingestion, then is digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Now, when I'm going to talk about the digestive system in human beings, we are going to take all the steps one by one. And we will discuss which step occurs in which part of the human digestive system, or herein I'll give you a term, alimentary canal. Alimentary canal, when I say alimentary canal, it starts from the mouth, ends at the anus. The whole tube is called as the alimentary canal, and all these processes, they one by one take place throughout the alimentary canal. So we'll be drawing the whole alimentary canal and we'll understand one after the other which parts lead to what function. Now, let's understand what happens in all these steps one by one. Ingestion means taking the food inside. Taking the food in mouth. And then chewing starts. Digestion starts from mouth, that means chewing, and it ends in the intestine. Absorption takes place in small intestine, and for that matter, some of the water is also absorbed in the large intestine. Absorption is what all food has been digested, the nutrients which are formed in the food, they go into the bloodstream. That is absorption. Assimilation is usage of nutrients. I'll be using English and Hindi both so that हर तरह के बच्चे को इन videos का फायदा हो. Then is egestion, removal of waste. Let's understand all of them one by one again. Ingestion is the process of taking in food. खाना जब अपने मुंह में रखते हैं और उसको चबाते हैं, that is ingestion. Ingestion मतलब intake, खाना. Digestion, when I say, digestion starts in the mouth, ends in the large intestine, or you may say small intestine. Complete digestion takes place in small intestine. मतलब digestion हमारे मुंह में शुरू होता है, होता step wise process होता small intestine में finally सब कुछ digest हो जाता है. Then is absorption. Absorption मतलब क्या? खाना digest हो गया, small pieces में टूट गया, nutrients बन गए, glucose, proteins and all, and then it has to go to the blood. वो ब्लड में जाएगा तभी पूरी बॉडी में सर्कुलेट होगा. सो जो वो ब्लड में जाने का प्रोसेस है, दैट टेक्स प्लेस इन स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन फॉर न्यूट्रिएंट्स एंड लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन फॉर वाटर. Then is assimilation. Assimilation मतलब nutrients blood के through have gone to all the parts of the body and now they are to be used up. That is assimilation, कि कहाँ पे कौन सा nutrient use up हो रहा है. Egestion is the removal of the waste. अब खाना सब digest हो गया, nutrients सब use हो गए, लेकिन waste is left in the large intestine which passes out of the body through the anus. So this is the whole process of nutrition in human beings. Now I will make the alimentary canal and I will tell you each part one by one. Please see carefully. Now when we talk about alimentary canal, it starts from the mouth, moves, or you can say there is a tube which extends further, known as the, जिसको हम फूड पाइप बोलते हैं, also known as oesophagus, थोड़ा सा और एक्सटेंड कर देते हैं, which ends up and passes the food down into the next gland structure known as stomach. Stomach then ends up or takes the food down into the small intestine, from where the food goes, or you can say the waste goes into the large intestine. This whatever I am making अभी जो मैं बना रही हूँ, that is large intestine, and we have the small intestine here in the between. Fine. और यहाँ पे हमारे पास we have the liver. Fine. And I'll just make the gallbladder as well. Pancreas बना देते हैं because pancreas का role we'll be discussing, and plus we have a gallbladder as well. Fine. So the alimentary canal, let's label them one by one. Labeling कर लेते हैं. This is the mouth, oesophagus, liver, stomach, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, and rectum, and finally the anus. Now we'll be talking about each of the part. We will talk about कहाँ पे क्या होता है, what is released where, and what are the functions which are performed. यहाँ पे एक और additional चीज हमें बनानी है which is very important for digestion, that is the salivary glands. We have the salivary glands here in the buccal cavity. इस सारे part को we call it buccal cavity also. Fine. अब यहाँ पे इस वीडियो में we will talk about digestion till here. That means we are going to start with the process of digestion till oesophagus we'll discuss. Rest we will discuss in the second part of the video. Let's start. Now the first part which comes in contact with the food is the mouth, or I'll write the buccal cavity. When I say buccal cavity के अंदर क्या क्या आता है? We have the tongue, teeth, and salivary glands. All of them play different roles in the process of digestion. Khana entered inside the mouth. Teeth help in chewing the food. The food is broken into small particles by the teeth, and simultaneously the tongue rolls and makes a bolus of the teeth, a ball-like structure of the food so that it can easily be swallowed. And a very important role is played by saliva. Let's write here. Saliva, salivary glands, first of all there are three salivary glands, submaxillary, mandibular and parotid gland, but आपके syllabus में we don't have the name, so just learn that there are salivary glands. Now these salivary glands secrete saliva which contains an enzyme known as salivary amylase. Very important. That means always remember the process of digestion, it starts in the mouth itself. Why? Because the food is chewed here inside the mouth and these salivary glands, they pour saliva over it. So the salivary amylase which is present in that saliva, it converts starch, whatever is present in the food, into simple sugars. This is the first step of digestion. That means if someone asks you what happens to the food when it is there in the buccal cavity or the mouth, starch, whatever is present in the food, is converted into simple sugar. That means जो carbohydrate है हमारे खाने के अंदर, that has been acted upon. First step is carbohydrates have been acted upon by the salivary amylase, and starch is converted into simple sugar by salivary amylase. Very important step. Then from here the food tends to move down through the oesophagus downwards. So the second part which we have in the digestive system or alimentary canal is the oesophagus, which we also call food pipe. Food pipe. Now this is the food pipe, and the bolus tends to move down in the फूड पाइप. बट जो हमारी फूड पाइप है वो एक ट्यूब नहीं है, वो बहुत ही फाइन थिन स्किन की तरह स्ट्रक्चर है, और जब उसमें खाना नहीं होता वो एकदम श्रिंक्ड, एकदम ऐसे बंद रहती है. एज एंड व्हेन खाना विच इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ राउंड बोलस टेंड्स टू मूव डाउन इनटू द फूड पाइप, जैसे जैसे खाना नीचे फूड पाइप में जाता है, वेयर एवर खाना इज देयर वहां पे बल जाता है, और जहां खाना नहीं है वहां नहीं है, ऐसे. This is the movement which is followed by the food which is there in the oesophagus. मतलब यहां पे खाना है and it keeps moving. अब इस movement को हमें एक नाम दिया है and that is peristaltic movement. So I'll give you the definition. Peristaltic movement is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the alimentary canal. Now this peristaltic movement, it takes place in the oesophagus, then from the stomach to intestine, in the small intestine. मतलब जहां जहां पे खाना मूव कर रहा है ट्यूब में पास होने के लिए, the movement which is happening is the peristaltic movement. So write the definition. Peristaltic movement is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the alimentary canal to pass the food downwards. जो muscles है, muscular movement है ये contraction और relaxation की, जो खाना को नीचे की तरफ move करने में help करती है alimentary canal के अंदर. Now the food which was chewed in the mouth, and then saliva acted on it, and then it has been turned into bolus, and that food passing through the oesophagus, passing through or continuing by the movement, that is peristaltic movement, has entered inside the stomach. What happens from the stomach, very important. The second half is very important. First half is of course important, but in second half I'll take up from the stomach till the anus, plus I'll give you a proper flow chart how you need to learn the enzymes and all. So keep watching. Second part, please watch. It will be uploaded soon, and then you know go through the part as well. So please keep watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. Thank you.